Hey everyone, it's Ryan here. Sorry, my laptop's being really slow at the moment. So Summerslam had just finished about 5 minutes ago. If you can tell by my eyes, I am very tired because it is 20 past 5 in the morning. And it's pretty much going to play into what my thoughts of SummerSlam are slash is. So start off, there was 10 matches on the show. It then became 11. It was on the pre-show, which started at midnight. They added Big E versus Baron Corbin. Basically, the story to that one is Baron Corbin stole Big E's briefcase because he's desperate for money. And then, Big E's been trying to chase him down. Baron Corbin's getting away. They have this match. Big E wins. He gets his briefcase back. And then we go on to the main show. It starts off with, let me just get my notes. It starts off with AJ and Omos versus RK Bro. That's Riddle and Randy Orton. It was a very fine match. Omos didn't get in the ring too much. A lot of time it was Riddle being isolated, pretty much like a traditional tag match on Raw. Orton comes in, starts attacking both of them, manages to get Omos down eventually, and then he hits AJ with an RKO for them to win. So Randy Orton and Riddle are the new tag team champions, which is nice. It's been building up for a couple of months now. There's a theme for some of the titles on here that I'll get into once all of them happened. I'll tell you what the link is. So yeah, nice little opener. RK Bro becoming the new Raw tag team champions. Then Alexa versus Eva Marie. I was fine with it being second, just get it out of the way. It was 5 to 10 minutes of nonsense. This could have easily just been on Raw. It wasn't worthy of a SummerSlam. They had the whole doll thing. Eventually, Alexa does win. And then after the match, Doudrop grabs a microphone and says, "And the loser of this match, Eva Marie," puts her coat on, walks away. Again, could have just done this on Raw. Wasn't really worth the pay-per-view. Then we have Sheamus versus Damian Priest for the US title. Now this one was actually a pretty good match, very solid, going back and forth between them. Sheamus using his mask from having a broken nose to his advantage, headbutting Damian Priest a couple of times, basically making him a bit lightheaded and not being able to focus fully. Eventually at one point, Sheamus does put like a heel hook on Damian Priest. Damian Priest powers through, grabs the mask and pulls it off him. And then you see the look of worry on Sheamus' face because he can't use it anymore. Priest then hits him really hard in the face and then hits I'm going to call it the crossroads because that's what it is. I forgot what it's called now. To win, and Priest is the new United States champion, and I'm very happy for him. I feel like Priest needed this win. I think if he lost, there wouldn't be anywhere for him to go. And I'm excited to see who his next challenger is going to be. I know it's probably going to be Sheamus again, but I mean, after that, who could potentially challenge him? Then we have the Usos versus the Mysterios. Again, the story going into this one is Ray has been trying to train Dominic to basically stay focused, not to get distracted, to always pick the right moments and stuff. A lot of this is pretty much like the RK Bro, AJ and Omos one. It's them isolating Dom. Eventually, Rey Mysterio gets in. It's very back and forth. There's a lot of close calls. Eventually, the Usos do get the advantage. They double super kick Rey Mysterio, hit the splash, and to win and retain the titles. Next, we have what's meant to be... it's weird, because they do this weird musical interlude where Rick Boogs comes out, plays Shinsuke Nakamura to the ring, Pat McAfee dances with him for a bit, and then it cuts to the promo package for Belair versus Banks. Belair then comes out, and it's announced Banks is not able to compete. So then they announce a replacement, and it's Carmella. And yeah, it's literally Carmella's had 2 title shots already. Why is Carmella the third? And then it's revealed Becky Lynch has returned. She comes out to a massive ovation. She's been away for over a year. She takes out Carmella, grabs the microphone and says, "How about me and you? We have a yeah, we blow the roof off this place despite the fact it's an open roof. Yeah, and we'll make it for the SmackDown Women's title. Bianca agrees. There's a little like, yeah, sort of measuring each other out. Becky goes to shake her hand, then punches her, hits her with the manhandle slam, I think, essentially a rock bottom, to win out of nowhere. And yeah, Becky Lynch is your SmackDown Women's Champion. I'm in two minds about this. One is me rushing to a conclusion quickly, being you literally have the whole history of Bianca and Sasha that they made history at WrestleMania. They had this over half an hour epic, and then she loses in less than a minute to Becky Lynch. It doesn't really paint a good picture. But then the other part of me, which I was sort of trying to read into, is Bianca is sort of like she's shocked at first, and then she sort of composes herself and goes, okay, I see how it is. So basically she's going to be, you know, she gets a rematch and she'll like, right, I wasn't ready for you the first time, now I am ready, and you're not going to be ready for me, and then they can have this 20-minute match. You know, it's sort of the shock value thing of Becky coming back, Bianca not being ready for it, and that's why she lost so quickly. So I feel like they could sort of use that. It all depends on their storytelling. It's on the SmackDown side, so I'm more hopeful than if it was on the Raw side, because on Raw they would just ignore it. So yeah, like I said, big return. Becky Lynch to come back and win the title. Then to bring the show back down a bit, Jinder versus Drew McIntyre. Again, another match that could have just been on Raw. Veer and Shanky banned from ringside. It's as traditional as you can get. It lasts about 7 minutes. Drew then hits the Claymore to win. Veer and Shanky comes out. He then grabs his sword, fends them off. Again, he's been doing this on Raw 3 times. This did not need to be on the SummerSlam card. Like, the thing with this SummerSlam is there were so many moments where you were hopeful for a bit, and then Raw's side would kick in and make it worse. And yeah, it was just it was like as well as it being 4 hours long, a lot of the bad stuff made the good stuff harder to watch. Because next it's Nikki versus Charlotte versus Rhea. Again, Charlotte's attacked both the legs. Rhea and Nikki work together to try and take Charlotte out, but Charlotte counters both of them. Eventually she puts a figure 8 on Nikki. Nikki eventually taps out, and Charlotte is yet again the women's champion. She's had it for 14 times now, which is way too many. And, you know, the whole Nikki cashing in and always being a superhero and believing in herself, that's now just been thrown out the window because Charlotte's just won again. And yeah, again, maybe I'm rushing into stuff, but they've just gone full circle with it. Like, you had the amazing story of Nikki being this whole inspirational character that if you believe and if you pick the right moments, you can become what you want. And now she's a loser again. And yeah, and then it's probably going to be a rematch and Charlotte's going to beat her no problem. And yeah, it's Charlotte as champion. Nothing against Charlotte. I mean, who else would, like, who's going to say no to winning multiple titles and probably getting paid a lot for it? But it's just the same stuff over and over, which makes Raw so unwatchable. Next, we got Edge versus Rollins. To me, this could have been a really good match. I did enjoy Edge's brief Brood entrance before going back to normal. Again, a majority of this is Rollins going after Edge's surgically repaired neck. You know, Edge getting some hope moments and then Rollins still getting back in it, trying to get for the stomp, but Edge keeps it moving out the way of it. Eventually he puts like the execution, which is the, well, not execution, the educator I think it's called, the submission move. And then he puts a crossface on, and then Rollins is breaking out of it, and they start smashing Rollins' face into the mat several times. Then he puts like a sleeper on him, and then Rollins taps out from the sleeper, which was a surprising finish. I probably would have preferred it if it was more of a full-on choke. This one just felt like a really weird side choke thing. But Edge wins. You know, probably could have been a bit more brutal considering the history they have and how they said it was like, oh, you know, I'm going to end you at SummerSlam. For it to end with like a sleeper hold is a bit odd. Maybe it's not over yet, who knows. Next we have Lashley versus Goldberg for the WWE title. So this one, it is it's yeah, it goes on for about 7 minutes or so. At one point, while Bobby Lashley rolls out the ring away from Goldberg, MVP hits Goldberg in the back of the leg with his cane, and then Bobby Lashley keeps attacking the leg. Eventually, Lashley can't stand up. Referee rings the bell. Lashley wins due to ref stoppage. Why book this match if that's what you're going for? Eventually, he continues to brutalise Goldberg with a chair on his leg. Goldberg's son then comes out, grabs Lashley in a sleep hold by grabbing on his back. Lashley throws him over, puts a hurt lock on him. He passes out within like 5 seconds. MVP grabs him by the legs. He goes, Lashley didn't know it was his son, blah blah blah, all this stuff. And then Goldberg crawls over to him. He's like, "Oh, I'll kill you," blah blah blah. So I feel like it's setting up for the Saudi Arabia show, whenever that is, and that's probably where Goldberg's going to win. I really hope he doesn't, but he's probably going to. And then finally, the main event, Roman Reigns versus John Cena. I did like John Cena's Mario themed shirt and Titantron. Again, a lot of this is Cena trying to get the roll up on Reigns. Reigns kicking out of it, a bit worried. He throws a couple of punches and sleeper holds on Cena. Cena gets a roll up. Roman kicks out, hits him with an attack. This happens like 8 times in the match. At one point, Cena hits an AA, Reigns kicks out, he hits a super AA from the middle rope, Reigns kicks out of that. Eventually, Roman does get to hit the spear on Cena, just one spear, and he wins. As he's standing over Cena to celebrate, Brock Lesnar's music hits. I think if that's meant to be their big shock, I don't think we need Reigns Lesnar again. We've had it 3 times, probably even 4 times, and the last time was 2018, and I think it was like a meant to be feel good moment. The fact that it was finally over and like Reigns finally won the title, and then people went back to booing him. So yeah, we're getting Reigns Brock again, and it's weird because Reigns is the heel and Brock, I guess, is the babyface. It's a weird one. Yeah, this show went on too long. I'm struggling to keep my eyes open. I'm that tired. It's now 25 to 6 in the morning. Yeah, it was too long a show. A few of those matches, it's, again, like WrestleMania Backlash, the Raw side really did bring it down, especially with Lashley Goldberg, Women's Triple Threat, Jinder McIntyre, and Alexa and Eva. Like, AJ and AJ Omos, RK Bro, Sheamus Priest, that was really good. You know, they were the highlights of the show. And then it just started to dip and dip and dip and dip and dip. And then by the time Edge and Rollins came around, it dipped so far that there wasn't much care in it. Then Lashley Goldberg happened, made it dip even further to the point the whole Reigns and Cena thing just felt so long. And like I said, at this point, they were reaching the 4-hour mark by the time this match started. It didn't finish till 1/4 past. Yeah, they could have easily cut an hour out of this. The musical interlude, get rid of Jinder McIntyre, get rid of Alexa Eva, get rid of the weird Miz and Xavier promo thing that happened in the middle. In the pre-show, Miz and Morrison had this van with like this water thing on it. Apparently they made the Dripstick 2000, which Xavier stole and sprayed them with it. He came out dressed as Razor Ramon, which actually looked quite nice. But again, it was 15 minutes of something that could have just been on Raw. They'll probably repeat it again on Raw on Monday. Yeah, the Biggie Corbin match, you could have put that on the main show. Usos Mysterio could have been the pre-show, or again, because it was a rematch of the last pay-per-view, could have just not had it. Save yourself an hour there. And maybe actually start the main show at midnight, not 1 in the morning. Because like I said, I am really tired. You can literally see I'm struggling to keep my eyes open. But yeah, that was SummerSlam. Too long. 4 hours and 15 minutes. An extra hour with the pre-show. A lot of really bad stuff on here, especially on the Raw side. Becky's back, which is nice. Brock's back, which is questionable. NXT TakeOver, best knock it out of the park. I'm sure it will. It's NXT TakeOver. But that's pretty much been my reaction to SummerSlam. I'm going to go to bed because I'm tired. I've got stuff to be doing tomorrow. I'll do a reactions video after NXT TakeOver. I swear I'll be more awake than I would with this one, because that show will actually probably be about 3 hours long, which is nice. But thanks for watching this, and I'll see you in the next one.